Good morning. Welcome to our class. And for the performance, I'm going to get the kids ready here for a few seconds just to give them a talk real quick. And then we're going to get started with the performance to show you what we've been working on since our last performance and so on. So give me a second here and we'll be right back. Welcome to our class. So since our last performance where we did a whole lot of snare drum stuff and we played a few things for the holiday performance, we've been working on our keyboard skills, which is our keyboard percussion, things like the xylophones that we have up here in the front, the marimbas that are here in the back, and all that kind of stuff. We've been working on learning how to locate the notes on the staff. We've been playing some games in the computer lab to help the students speed up their recognition times of those. We've been playing through pieces, and also the most important thing is learning our scales. And the scales all over the instrument help us facilitate playing music in different keys and being able to read efficiently around the instrument too as well. And so we've been working on several pieces too, and this is we're going to play one for you here a little bit later. But first, we want to show you the scales. The students right now are playing all of the 10 of the 12 scales right now, and they're also playing the chromatic scales. We're also playing them in the order. They have to know and memorize the order all the way through up and down the scales, all at from slow tempos to fast tempos as well. And so I'm really proud of their efforts. They've come a long way with the scales. It's not an easy task. And so I'm really proud of all the efforts they put into it. And so we just want to show you what we can do. So without further ado, this is our scale sequence that we do in the mornings, just to kind of get their heads adjusted to moving around the instrument. Ready? Playing position, please. Remember to say it confidently, in between, know where you're going. First scale, C. No sharps or flats. The next scale, F. 1 flat. The next scale, 2 flats. The next scale, 3 flats. The next scale, 4 flats. The next scale, 5 flats. To the sharp scales. The first one, 1 sharp. The next scale, 2 sharps. The next scale, 3 sharps. The next scale, 4 sharps. The next scale, 5 sharps. So we go through that, and first of all, it requires a lot of concentration to play that, and so we're working on their ability to focus for longer periods of time. Also, understanding the sequence all the way around the instrument. So we've learned our major scales, and we've talked a little bit about what we call our minor scales as well. And so the students have been able to work on those. We're also learning how to play the chromatic scale, and we're going to play that for you here right now. So this is the chromatic scale. Let's do it in double strokes, 2 octaves, so just like we always do. Here we are. Make sure we start on the right hand using good technique. Here we go. Bum, 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 bum. 1 and 2 and ready and go. Excellent. And so we do all of these skills all around the instrument, more or less to facilitate our ability to read. And so reading music is a skill. When we talk about it, it's like you can learn something in English class and it's like you understand it and you can apply it. But a skill is something that you develop over time. And so these are skills. We've been working on the skill of reading, being able to read, keep our faces on keep our eyes focused within the page, see our instrument below us, and be able to locate that without having to look down for long periods of time. Because when we look down, kids, what happens? You get lost. And so what'll happen is like the kids will start off and they're reading and they look down and then they look back up and they're like, Mr. Green, I'm lost. And I was like, well, so we have to work on that. It's just the work on the skill of reading. And so it's kind of like the tight wire, you know, if you ever saw the circus where if you see they're walking on the wire there, if they look down, they're going to lose their balance and all those things. They need to keep their eyes focused ahead and follow along in the music while they move around the instrument and get a feel for it, just like the tightrope walker keeps their feet on the wire all the way through without having to look down. They know that it's there. They know exactly where to place their foot. And so they know the path of travel all the way through. So, but today we're going to read a piece of music called Orpheus in the Underworld. And we have a sequence to it that we do. We first set our mallets down. And we will say the note names while we touch the instrument all the way around on those notes. And the whole idea here is just being able to verbalize what's going on in the head so that they can begin to process it internally. So we're going to go through that sequence first, and then we'll talk about what happens next. Here we go. Okay. Find your first two notes. Remember your range. Remember to put the music in the middle of your range. Okay, if it's not in there, please make sure that it is. Got it? All right, first two notes. 1 and 2 and ready and play. C, G, G, A, G, F, F, A, B flat, D, F, D, D, C, C, D, E, E, D, C, F, F, A, G, A, G, A, G, G, back to the top. C, G, G, A, G, F, F, A, B flat, D, F, D, D, C, C, D, E, E, D, C, F, F, A, G. Take that second ending. G, G, F, 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 D, C, C, G, A, B flat, A, G, F, A, F, D, look ahead, B flat, C, D, E, F, F, F. Nice job, nice job. So, and you can also kind of hear some of the kids are singing along with it, which I highly encourage, because eventually when we go to play like the kettle drums or what we call timpani, the students are going to have to be able to recognize the pitches and be able to tune those drums too as well. So as much singing along with the playing that they can do, the better they're going to be at playing those instruments too as we move forward. So, and you'll get to see some of those too, the more performances we do in the future. So, all right, you ready to play?
Yeah.
I hope so. Here we are. So here's our performance of Orpheus in the Underworld. In position. Remember to say your note names as you go through. Keep those eyes on the page. Ready? 1 and ready. We actually started learning that on Monday, or is it Tuesday? I think it was Monday. We started working on that on the Monday, this is really awesome to watch their skills develop. And so one of the important things is like we always realize along the way of building a skill too, is that what happens, kids, sometimes we make Yeah, sometimes we make mistakes and we can't dwell on it in the making of music with all that stuff. We have to be able to move on and read. Now, there's a difference between where we're reading through and then we're practicing for perfection. So I've kind of had to get some of the kids out of the mode of trying to memorize things. That's like, you're going to memorize this as a byproduct of reading it. And so we've been working on that skill and just gaining their confidence of moving around the instrument and being able to read whatever they want in the scales that they want, or in any scale that's put in front of them, and just understand how everything moves around the instrument. So we want to thank you today for being here. We'll probably be back here in about a week or two. Kids, say hello or goodbye to your parents here. So thank you for joining us today. And I hope that in the future, you guys can join us again, and we'll be able to see what awesome things that these kids are going to be doing also at the end of the year at our spring concert when we get together with the full band. So I hope to see you then. Thank you for being here.